Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome. I'm happy to have you here. Today, we're going to go over 2 common English myths. Now, what I mean by this is that these are commonly taught grammatical rules in English, but they're incorrect. Now, you may have been taught these at school by an English teacher, but it's important to know that these are not 100% true. So let's go over these. Now, the first one we're going to go over is the I before E except after C. Now, this is something that even in America, children are taught in schools. Maybe you've heard your teacher say this, or maybe if you're learning English as a second language, maybe your English teacher or ESL teacher or English tutor has taught you this. And if you have been taught this, then just know that it's incorrect. Now, according to Merriam-Webster.com, it says this rule is best thought of as an easy way to remember the spelling pattern of one category of related common words that came to English from French, including receive, perceive, conceive, and deceive, as well as deceit, conceit, and receipt. Remember, English is made up of different languages. So keep in mind that in the English language, there are bound to be exceptions to so-called rules. That's what can make English a difficult language to learn. And even for native speakers, a difficult language to write because there's so many inconsistencies in spelling and in so-called rules. So those words that I just said to you, receive, perceive, conceive, deceive, deceit, conceit, and receipt, just to give some examples, those came to English from French. But not all words in English come from French. So the I before E, except after C, does not always apply. Now, to give you some examples, we have the words ate, way, neighbor, slay, and weird. Can you think of some other words that don't follow this so-called rule in English? Comment below. Our second English myth is always put an apostrophe before S if it's possessive. Now, is that true? Yes, for some words. Is that 100% true for every instance? No. And here's where it can get a little difficult or a little bit tricky to understand. For example, we have the words it's and its. Now, it's spelled I-T apostrophe S means it is. So in that case, it's not possessive. And the word it's, I-T-S, is possessive, but there's no apostrophe. Now, another exception to this rule is when we're talking about something that's possessive, but it's plural, meaning more than one. In general, the rule is to use only an apostrophe after S with a possessive plural noun. You do not need to place anything after the possessive apostrophe. Notice that it says in general, which means that this is not always the case. There are some exceptions to this, but this is usually the case. For example, the horse's hooves kicked up dirt. The student's teacher was very happy. An exception to this rule is the possessive of plural nouns that do not end in S. These are formed by adding an apostrophe and an S to the noun. For example, the women's dressing room was very small. So as you can see, English is a bit complicated and there are so-called rules and there's always exceptions to rules, and it can be very complicated. So I will put links to these articles that I've used when researching down below so that you can read them and you can take a look at them and it will help to explain it better to you. Now, these are just 2 English myths. Can you think of some more English myths? Comment below. Also, please don't forget to like and subscribe to see more content like this. I'm an online ESL teacher, and if you would like to practice speaking English, the native speaker, I would be happy to speak with you. Please book a lesson on my website, and I would be happy to see you. That's all for today, everybody. I hope that you're having a great and safe day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.